choose. So the Bulls will take either a 10 or 11-point lead into the locker room. It'll be 11, and a very good half for Chicago.
Chicago's defense only gave up 42 points to one of 4 teams that are averaging over 100 a game, and then they, in return, put up 53, which is highly unusual against Miami at halftime.
34-point second quarter. John Lucas III, one of the big reasons, standing by with Heather Cox.
Mike, thank you, John. Congrats on a great first half. Describe what it's like to be in what appears to be an incredible zone.
You know, we're playing great ball as a team right now. We're doing exactly what Tibbs tells us to do, and we're executing our plays. And, you know, as long as we stay together and stay as a unit, we have a real good shot.
Not very often you see a guy of your size take a charge from a guy of LeBron's size. How did that change things for you guys?
You know, that just shows energy. You know, I want to come out and play my heart out. You know, D Rose is out, so it's time for us guys to step up. And, you know, I felt like it was my time to step up because our captain went down and our leader went down. So as a unit we are, you know, we all step up.
Impressive effort, John. Thank you. Mike?
His journey, Heather, has taken him to China, Spain, Italy, the D-League, as you mentioned, Baylor, Oklahoma State, John Lucas III, with a great part of a team effort by the Bulls in the first half. 53-42. Miami got the early start at a 4-point lead, but outscored by 15 in the second. We'll send you to Michael Wilbon, Magic Johnson, Chris Broussard, and Brent Barry's brother for the Toyota Halftime Report next.
Sports Nation, they're talking about the Knickerbockers.
Championships.
Without Mike D'Antoni, but with Mike Woodson having their biggest
and do not count them out
of the year. 43 points in the fourth quarter for the Knicks. They took 38 threes, kind of a Mike D'Antoni number. Jeremy Lin with 2 of just 6 points. He had 6 and 6.
You don't see those numbers a lot.
See this? Look at it.
I see it. If they play Portland every night, hang the banners. Baron Davis, you can hang the banners. Play the Blazers every night.
That's sort of amazing. All right, let's go right to it. Chris Broussard, who is the next coach of the New York Knicks?
The way things went tonight, I'd say Mike Woodson. No, he's a long shot. Who knows how the rest of the season will go. They have their eyes on Phil Jackson. We all know that. I'm not sure they can get him, you know, but that's who they're targeting. If that doesn't work out.
You make him tell you no.
Yeah, exactly.
You make everything
will
available to Phil Jackson.
Yep.
All right, so you guys are down with that, right?
Well, I think it's the best option out there. And a guy who's won championships. And I don't know if he'll come back, but because of the health issues. But if he was going to come back, it would be to the Knicks. And I think that
complete the circle is a phrase that Phil has uttered in his life. Complete. We know where the circle started. Started in New York with 2 championships as a player.
11 rings, and it's got to be, whoever it is, it's got to be a my way or the highway. This is the way it goes, guys.
Which is what they need.
Exactly what they need. They've got a lot of talent. You're going to have to move a few things around, but got to be a my way or the highway guy. Well, let's go down to San Antonio and check in on one Dwight Howard. His name's been out there a little bit, dominating the trade deadline, which is tomorrow at 3 Eastern. Third quarter, Dwight Howard here gets the spin move, the bucket, and the foul. Orlando playing some good basketball. More Dwight Howard here off the miss. Going to get the tip in from Big Baby. His GM skills that he brought in, not working so well. Fourth quarter, Spurs by 3. Tony Parker drives and hits the layup with the left. And the Spurs lead by 5. Too much Spurs down the stretch, though. Manu Ginobili hits the 3, and the Spurs are going to walk out here with a victory. They're up 9 with 1:20 to go. So, I ask you, Mr. Broussard, who's been on the phones all day today, is this the last game for Dwight Howard in a Magic uniform?
I think so. I think so. That's what the Magic are saying now because Dwight has told them he's not going to opt into his contract and stay next season. So they feel like they have no choice but to trade him. Now, we still got some time before tomorrow's 3 p.m. Eastern time deadline. But the way it looks right now, they're going to have to move him. I say the Nets are the front runner, but as Magic has said, the Lakers can offer the best package with Andrew Bynum. So we'll see where he ends up, but I do think this will probably be
I'm going to be so happy. I'm actually tired. No, I am. And
Dwight Howard fatigue, Irvin?
Yeah, I'm fatigued, and I'm tired of the back and forth. Decide what
Today
you
it was
do.
back and forth.
Yeah, but Dwight, decide what you're going to do. If you're going to stay in Orlando. If you want to go to the Nets, tell Orlando you want to go to the Nets. Because right now, you tried to play the good guy, but it's actually backfiring on you.
Yeah,
because
that's right.
The people in Orlando,
they're tired too. I talked to two people there today. I know you have, who just said, just go.
Yeah.
He's worn out his welcome, which is not a good thing.
And he's a good guy, and he means well. But Dan Fagan, his agent, should have stepped in here and made a decision, and it's too bad. But it's not going to turn out the way he wanted.
Would you, in your prime, play with Bynum or Howard right now?
In my prime?
Who'd you want? I mean, would you want that move?
The dude who wants to win. and I'm not sure either one. I'll take Kareem.
He's not in that mix.
The first political answer I have ever heard. Remember, let your voice be heard. Log on to ESPN.com and search Sports Nation. When we come back, Kobe and the Lakers back on the floor after a double OT thriller last night. They had another thriller again.
The Toyota Halftime Show is brought to you by Toyota.
After Chris Kaman missed, the Lakers have the ball back with 2.1 to go. Great play call here. Kobe opening the corner to win it. No sale. We go to overtime for the second straight night for the Lakers. In OT, Trevor Ariza loses it. Kobe dunks it. And the foul on the break. Lakers win it 107-101. 33 for Kobe.
Nice win. Nice win for the Lakers.
Yeah, good win. Two in a row.
Can the Bulls continue this in the second half? The bench, the Chicago bench, outscoring the Miami bench 31-2. The reserves in Chicago outscored the starters, the Bulls starters 31-22. We're going to see this happen?
They can definitely keep going because the pace. They're playing faster without Derrick Rose. And Lucas is really pushing the ball, getting everybody involved. And, Michael, they've been more physical than Miami Heat, and they're playing outstanding defense.
The first half does not surprise you. So
no.
You said they're going to play hard. They're going to play the same way.
But what do you always say, though?
What they do.
Talent prevails.
No question
at the end of this ball game, you know Miami's going to hang around, and they're going to start playing better defense. They give up 53 points.
Team in close games.
Well, 53 points to a Derrick Rose-less team?
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
It's disappointing. You're 4-3 since the
They'll be there.
Coming back, we promise. Second half from Chicago. Shockingly.
LeBron's got 20, by the way.
20 points from LeBron James. The Chicago Bulls, without Derrick Rose, leading at the half.
The Toyota Halftime Show is brought to you by
Well, the one thing this team can't do is play harder than us, okay? They're already racking up the offensive rebounds right now. They're racking them up.
Frustrating first half for Eric Spoelstra. Despite 20 from LeBron James, Miami in a hole, 53-42 as we get set to start the second half. Time now for our 5-hour energy first half stats, and the energy came from what affectionately around here is known as the bench mob. 31-2, the Chicago bench UB outscored the Miami bench.
Well, there are two stats there, Mike. The three-point shooting, 6 for 9. And second chance points, where it's 12-4. And that's just all hustle. And that's what Spoelstra is speaking about. We cannot allow this to happen in the second half. Now, you know, Miami's going to make a run here.
Right.
Can the bench guys shoot a high percentage? So like we said, Deng and Boozer got to get going.
Yeah, no Derrick Rose, the MVP, a groin injury when we were here on Monday night. That Bulls second unit really did the job. Time for the Never Settle performance brought to you by H&R Block, and it is a lot of that reserve group again.
Oh, this is Gibson from the corner, 2 of his 8. Korver knocking in a 3. He was 2 for 2 and 3. And then Asik doing a terrific job on the offensive glass. He's been big. Couple shot blocks and changing shots. Now you can see right there, C.J. Watson started, sprained his ankle, and then John Lucas III came in. Not only the 11 points, but the 4 for 4, and he did an excellent job in the transition game.
Watson had missed the last couple of games, missed a bunch of games this year, and filling in for Derrick Rose, who's out for the 11th time this year. Heather Cox, what's the story on the Miami side?
Well, Mike, the message coming out of the Heat locker room is to match the intensity. They said it's not about making changes. It's about, quote, doing it smarter and doing it harder. They also need more out of that second unit. They said the bench has been outscored 31-2. We need that second unit to contribute. He said our second unit, they're a bunch of spot-up shooters. We need our big three to get going so that they can open up our spot-up shooters. They also want to get more stops so they can play their transition game and get some easier buckets.
That's what they do so well, Heather, in this new offensive mindset for the Miami Heat this year. Erik Spoelstra mentioned it to Heather. It hasn't been a great start out of the All-Star break for Miami. This is their second game of a stretch where they have 8 of 11 on the road, and it's against good teams. So Orlando, they lose in overtime last night. Chicago, we see them in Philly on Friday. They also have Oklahoma City and Indiana and Boston in this group of road games. So the Heat will be tested here to start this month of March. And on through to the final month of the season, it'll be Bulls ball with 9 to shoot.
Yeah, I expect them to come out here right now and tighten the screws from the defensive end. Now, you saw there was just an awful lot of real nice movement here, but nothing happened. Nothing opened up for them.
Same 10 that started the game, start the second half. Luol Deng chased by James from behind, touched it while he was out of bounds. 5 seconds left, and you can see that attention on the defensive end from the very first trip.
100%, Mike, no doubt about it. Now remember, C.J. Watson is back in there for the first group at Chicago. Now you only have 5 seconds.
Deng inbounding in front of the Miami coach, Erik Spoelstra. And Watson with the high release. And it's rebounded by Chris Bosh.
Big thing right now for the Chicago Bulls, you got to show good defense here and then take away this early energy from Miami.
Will the other guys come along in this second half? Only 2 points outside of the big three in the first half. Wade Trapp tried to throw it off Deng, who tried to save it, but it's going to stay down here with Miami. Luol Deng missed the last 2 games. He has a ligament injury in his left wrist that has bothered him and will bother him. He wants to play for England in the 2012 Olympics this summer in London. That's why he didn't have surgery. He has to play through pain the rest of the year. Chalmers stepped out of bounds. He's pushed out of bounds. Says Sean Wright, and the foul on Noah.
Now, it's a tough call. Because anytime that you go behind the backboard, just watch what they do here. Let's see if there's contact. There's the contact right there. He catches him with his left shoulder, Noah. And then all of a sudden the player is going to fall out of bounds. I like this. Go right at Deng.
They isolated a lot with James early on, and LeBron continues his good game. 10 of 16 from the field, 22 points for a guy whose stats are always good, and they're even better this year. Noah guarded by Joel Anthony. Watson bounces it right back to Joakim.
Right, they'll give him that. They'll give him that outside shot where he's dangerous if he's in the circle and the paint.
James and Wade, quick, and Tom Thibodeau wastes no time. 87 seconds into the third quarter, takes a 20-second timeout. Big bounce back here by Miami. 12-3 run over the end of the first at the start of the second. Great start in the series, but Miami pulled away, controlling the games down in South Florida. And then Dwayne Wade and company came home. The great defense that James played on Derrick Rose at the end of the 3 games towards the end of the series. Miami 1-5 on to the Eastern Conference final champions, to the NBA Finals where they lost to the Mavericks.
I like the timeout by Tibbs because this first unit was 6 for 18 in the first half. They came out 0 for 2 right here, and then James has 8 of the last 10 Miami points.
Watson draws the defense, gets it to Noah, and a foul as Joakim tried to go up to the basket. Hard fouls like that one on Joel Anthony. It's been typical of the playoff series and the regular season between these teams.
Mike, if you're going to go down inside the painted area here against either of these teams, they're going to force you to make a sensational, strong move, or they're going to put you on the foul line. They're not going to give you an uncontested layup and then pretend that no one rotated. Here, if you don't rotate and then you don't challenge or take the charge, they substitute for you and you don't get back in again.
One more coming for Noah, so let's take a look at The big board one more time. We've got Miami and Philly, San Antonio, Oklahoma City. 3 of the top 4 records in the NBA on ESPN Friday. Spurs then play Dallas on NBA TV Saturday night and on TNT Monday.